Senior centers are often seen as safe havens, places of respite and relaxation. They are envisioned as environments where our elders can enjoy their golden years surrounded by peers and engaging in stimulating activities. Places where our loved ones find community, companionship, and care. These centers are designed to foster a sense of belonging and provide a supportive network for those who may be experiencing isolation or loneliness. But within these seemingly secure walls, a hidden danger threatens our elderly, a silent epidemic that often goes unnoticed and unaddressed. A silent, invisible killer that can be just as devastating as any physical ailment. It doesn't show up on routine blood tests or imaging scans, but its insidious impact is just as deadly as any disease, slowly eroding their quality of life and overall well-being. This threat thrives in quiet moments of solitude, preying on our basic human need for connection, interaction, and a sense of belonging. When that fundamental need goes unmet, when individuals feel isolated and disconnected, the consequences are devastating, physically, mentally, and emotionally, leading to a decline in overall health and happiness. We focus so much of our attention and resources on seniors' physical health, their medications, their mobility, and their physical safety features. Yet we often overlook their equally important emotional and social well-being, the very things that give life meaning and purpose. This blind spot, this oversight, allows a dangerous condition, loneliness and social isolation, to spread unnoticed and unchecked. As a neurosurgeon, I've witnessed firsthand how emotional distress, particularly chronic loneliness, can wreak havoc on the body, impacting everything from the cardiovascular system and the immune system to cognitive function. The brain, our body's central command center, the seat of our emotions and thoughts, suffers immensely under prolonged emotional strain, leading to a cascade of negative health consequences. Today, we must confront a threat that insidiously attacks this very center, this vital organ, one that demands our immediate and urgent attention, our compassion, and our unwavering commitment to finding solutions. The danger of loneliness and isolation is real, and it's time we face it head-on, with open hearts and a determination to create a more connected and supportive world for our seniors. There's a silent epidemic spreading, often unseen and unacknowledged. It's a pervasive issue that affects countless individuals, particularly within our aging population. It lurks in the corners of our senior centers, a condition known as chronic loneliness. It's a heavy burden that many carry in silence. Unlike solitude, which can be a chosen state, a peaceful and welcome opportunity for reflection and introspection, loneliness is a painful, involuntary sense of isolation, a feeling of being disconnected from the world and the people around you. It's the aching gap between the meaningful connections we deeply crave, the bonds that nourish our souls, and the limited or superficial interactions we actually have in our daily lives. You can be physically surrounded by a multitude of people, a bustling environment filled with activity, and still feel desperately, profoundly alone, lost in a sea of faces, yearning for genuine connection. True connection isn't about the sheer number of acquaintances, it's about quality, the depth and authenticity of the relationships, about experiencing a sense of belonging, of being truly seen, heard, and understood for who you are. Loneliness is a deeply personal and often invisible struggle, a hidden pain carried within, but its effects on our well-being are profound and far-reaching, impacting both our mental and physical health. Chronic loneliness relentlessly puts the body in a constant, heightened state of stress, flooding the system with the stress hormone cortisol. Over time, this chronic stress response leads to widespread inflammation throughout the body, high blood pressure, persistent poor sleep patterns, and a significantly weakened immune system, making the body more vulnerable to illness. It's like running an engine constantly in the red zone, pushing it beyond its limits. Eventually, critical systems break down, leading to irreversible damage. The body and mind slowly deteriorate, cognitive function declines, making loneliness a truly insidious and devastating killer. This is not simply an emotional issue to be dismissed, it's a serious and pressing public health crisis that demands our immediate attention. We must recognize and acknowledge loneliness for what it truly is, understand its severity, a significant threat to the overall quality of life, and even to life itself. And it's far more common and widespread than we often realize, silently affecting countless individuals in our communities. The numbers are staggering. Over one-third of adults over 45 feel lonely, and in some senior centers, up to 80% of residents report significant loneliness. This isn't a rare problem, it's an epidemic. Chronic loneliness increases the risk of heart disease by nearly 30% and stroke by over 30%. The risk of dementia can be up to 50% higher for those who are lonely. Its health impact is as severe as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, worse than obesity or inactivity. Behind every statistic is a real person suffering in silence. We track other health threats obsessively, but loneliness remains largely ignored. If 80% of centers had contaminated water, we'd demand action. We must treat loneliness with the same urgency. The evidence is clear. This is a public health crisis we can't ignore. Seniors are especially vulnerable to loneliness for many reasons. As we age, social circles shrink. Spouses pass, friends move, and familiar routines disappear. Physical limitations like mobility issues, hearing loss, and chronic pain make socializing harder. Moving into a senior facility can be disorienting, leaving residents surrounded by strangers. Old friendships are hard to replace, and forging new ones late in life is challenging. Many seniors were raised to be stoic, reluctant to admit loneliness or ask for help. This silence allows loneliness to grow unchecked, hidden behind brave faces. The result? A generation suffering quietly, disconnected from the world they helped build. To truly grasp the profound impact of isolation, especially on our elderly population, we need to move beyond statistics and data points. We must listen intently to those who are on the front lines of care, the individuals who witness the daily struggles and silent suffering firsthand. Brenda May, a dedicated nursing assistant, sees the pervasive nature of loneliness every single day in her work. It's a constant presence, a shadow that hangs over many of the residents. The charts don't show the full story, she explains. They capture the medical details, the vital signs, and the medications. But I see Mr. Henderson waiting patiently by the window, day after day, his eyes fixed on the outside world. He's waiting for a visitor, a loved one, someone who never seems to come. The emptiness in that room is palpable. She recalls Miss Eleanor, who was once a lively and vibrant presence in the community, always ready with a smile and a kind word. But after her closest friend passed away, Miss Eleanor began to withdraw, retreating into herself and losing her spark. Tragically, she was gone within 6 months, her spirit extinguished. She died of a broken heart, Brenda says with a heavy sigh. There's no other way to explain it. And these aren't isolated incidents. Experts in geriatric care are increasingly echoing these stories and observations. Dr. Alistair Finch, a leading gerontologist, notes, social isolation, particularly in the elderly, frequently leads to what we term failure to thrive. Residents lose their appetite and stop eating, often leading to malnutrition and further decline. They refuse essential medication, becoming resistant to care, and ultimately withdraw completely from the world around them. The underlying root cause of this decline is so often profound loneliness, a deep sense of disconnection and abandonment. It's not simply a matter of aging or stubbornness, it's a fundamental human need for connection that's going unmet. These aren't just isolated anecdotes shared among caregivers. They're increasingly recognized as serious medical realities with tangible consequences. Loneliness is not just a feeling, it causes real, observable physical and cognitive decline. Behind the closed doors of nursing homes and senior living facilities, too many people are fading away, their lives diminishing. And it's not primarily from disease or physical ailments, but from a profound lack of human connection, a starvation of the soul. Their silence, their withdrawal, is a desperate cry for help, a plea for someone to notice their suffering. We must listen, truly listen, to what they are telling us, both verbally and non-verbally. These stories, these experiences, reveal a fundamental truth about the human condition. That loneliness is not merely a feeling or an emotional state. It's a medical emergency that demands our immediate attention and action. It drains the very will to live, eroding their sense of purpose and hope. And it undermines every single aspect of their health, both physical and mental, accelerating the aging process and increasing vulnerability to illness. The solution to this growing crisis starts with recognizing the profound impact of loneliness and social isolation on our elderly population, and then, most importantly, acting decisively and compassionately to address it. Recognizing loneliness is the first step to helping. Watch for withdrawal from activities if your loved one stops joining meals or hobbies. Take note. A decline in self-care, like poor hygiene or wearing the same clothes, can signal distress. Changes in eating, loss of appetite, or unexplained weight loss are red flags. Listen for expressions of worthlessness or talk about the past. Disrupted sleep, too much or too little, often accompanies loneliness. Persistent sadness, irritability, or listlessness are major warning signs. Some may seek attention in negative ways just to feel noticed. Look for a lack of joy or animation. Don't accept "I'm fine" at face value. Look deeper. Compassionate attention can reveal the struggle beneath the surface. If you spot these signs, act now. Prioritize meaningful connection, regular visits, genuine conversation, and undivided attention. If distance is an issue, schedule video calls. Seeing a face matters. Help your loved one engage in community activities, even if it means attending with them at first. Encourage small group interactions to break the inertia of isolation. Introduce technology patiently. Teach them to use video calls, music, or online groups. Make it simple and supportive, not overwhelming. Most importantly, validate their feelings. Listen with empathy, not judgment. Avoid dismissive comments. Instead, acknowledge their pain and offer support. Your role is to be a compassionate ally, not just a problem solver. Small actions can make a life-changing difference. Remind them they are not alone. Families can't solve this crisis alone. Senior centers and healthcare systems must step up. Facilities should foster real social connection, not just provide care. Hire staff skilled in creating inclusive, engaging programs. Implement evidence-based initiatives, intergenerational activities, peer support groups, and volunteer roles for residents. Make social health a core measure of success. Healthcare providers should screen for loneliness, just like blood pressure or depression. When identified, connect seniors to community resources and social groups. Local governments and nonprofits can help fund transportation, create visitor programs, and build welcoming community centers. Protecting seniors from loneliness is a collective responsibility. Our elders' well-being reflects our values as a society. We're at a crossroads. The evidence is overwhelming and the stories are heartbreaking. Loneliness is not an inevitable part of aging. It's a crisis we can solve. The time for action is now. For families, don't assume your loved one is okay. Reach out, visit, ask questions, and look for signs. Your presence and attention are powerful medicine. For caregivers and administrators, look beyond the charts. See the whole person. Make social and emotional well-being a top priority. Champion programs that build real community and belonging. This is our moment to act. We can't let another generation fade away in silence. Replace isolation with connection, despair with hope. The health and happiness of our elders depend on it. Let's get to work today.